Right, I have a massive confession to make. As you guys probably know, this is my Stage 2 M240i, a 3-litre rear-wheel drive. But recently, I've been deciding to take out my wife's Polo GTI instead. Am I going crazy? So if you are currently saving up for finance on an M140i or maybe a Golf R, you guys need to stop right now. There's a sheep over there making a very strange noise. Anyway. You're probably thinking to yourself right now, have I actually lost my mind? Why on earth would I prefer driving a GTI compared to this absolute monster? Well, I promise you, you guys should be on the same wavelength as me by the end of this video. Now, the first thing I want to mention for any new viewers around here, this Polo isn't stock. And I know everybody hates the term stages, but this is a Stage 3 car, that's a Stage 2. What a Stage 3 means is it basically has a bigger turbo than it came out the factory with. Whereas the M240i is running something called an off-the-shelf map. So for anyone who doesn't really know the specs of these engines, 3-litre straight-six single turbo. This is a 1.8-litre 4-cylinder turbo. However, the catch with this car is it basically has the Golf GTI engine, which is the EA888. However, it's just been made a bit smaller to be a 1.8-litre. Now, I put a poll up for you guys the other day on the channel for you guys to answer what car you prefer. 90% of you prefer the M240i. I can see why you guys like this car so much. It's stylish, it looks good, it's got an engine which people claim is bulletproof, and it's ridiculously fast. But the Polo, in my opinion, is arguably more fun. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I lost a race in my M235i, which is the car I had before my M240i, to one of these fast Polos. And when I say they're fast, I mean they're fast. And my mate Jay, he was in his tuned M140i, which also got left. And when I say left, I mean the Polo walked both of our cars. Then I had the biggest brainwave of the 21st century. My wife has always wanted a Polo GTI, so I thought, well, if I'm going to buy a GTI, it's got to be a modified one, which is what I've done. And this thing brings a smile to my face a lot more than this does. But if we come to the rear of the M240i, I'm not hating on it. I love the car. I've taken this on track. I drive it a lot more than the Polo. It's faster, and arguably it handles a little bit better too. I'm not saying it's a bad car, and I absolutely love it. The one thing to highlight with this car is it costs a lot more than the Polo, and I think for the price that the fun is, the Polo wins. So in just a second, we're going to take both cars out for a drive. I'm going to explain why the M240i is fun in its own ways, and also why the Polo GTI is fun in its own ways. But first, we just need to really quickly talk about cost. This car is basically double the price. And I'm not really one for cracking jokes, but a lot of people say this is a big money whip, which you could argue it is. However, the Polo is cheaper to insure, it's a little bit more fun to drive, and it's kind of half the price. So why would I choose this car instead of this one? So let's hop in the cars, let's drive them back to back, let's see which one actually makes me smile more. Sorry to butt in, guys, but I have a very important announcement. I'm doing a giveaway. Now, to say thank you for everything you guys have done with watching the videos, subscribing, commenting and liking, I'm doing a giveaway. And what a perfect thing to give away than a Driven Digits car keyring bundle. Now, if you're like me, you love cleaning your car. I don't think I've ever filmed a video where these cars have ever been dirty. So to enter this giveaway, it's really simple. All you guys have to do is like the video. You also have to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comment section that you've done both of those things. The winner will be drawn in 2 weeks from when this video is posted. It will be shared in other of my YouTube videos too, but from the first time I mention this giveaway, it'll be 2 weeks and it'll be a UK winner only, as it will cost me almost a mortgage to get 5 litres of product sent out to some of you guys in America. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel, you're also liking the video and commenting down below so that I know you guys have definitely entered. So big thank you to Driven Digits for getting these products out to me, and I'll be able to pick the giveaway winner in 2 weeks' time. You guys do those things, you'll be entered. Right, back to the video. Now, before we've even started to drive, the one thing I love about the M240i is the startup. The B58, it's just aggressive. For example, let's start this thing up now. 3, 2, 1. It's just got that grunt. It feels very, very aggressive. Now, one thing I love about this car is the fact I fitted this gear shifter. Now, this is a Cooler Works short shifter, but this only really works when the gearbox is directly underneath the car. So for example, we've got short shifts like this, and they are so short. For instance, let's go to third. That's it. But in reality, this only works really well because the gear linkage is so short. On a front-wheel drive car, you've got cables that actually go to the gearbox at the front. And even if I fitted a Cooler Works to the Polo GTI, it would never be as sharp and as crisp as this manual 240. Well, it's a lovely sunny day today. I've got like a half and half on my face. Half of my face is glowing, the rest of it's just normal. The one thing I love about the 240 though, and I'm not trying to say everything about the 240 is amazing, because the Polo GTI has its own kind of best things about it, but the rev match. This car has rev match, and to me, that's pretty amazing, because it's a thing that you can learn, but when the car does it for you, it makes life so much easier. In reality though, I could be a little bit biased to the 240 because I have experienced track use with this car, whereas I haven't taken the Polo on track yet. So before I give my full opinion on each car, I do want to take the Polo GTI on the same track that I took this car on, which is Castle Combe. If you want to see that video, it is on the channel where I do take this thing on track for the day. But overall, if you live on roads like I live, for example, you can never open this 240's power. Even stock, 360 brake that these come from the factory stock, you can't even use that, let alone 440, which it is now. But the M240i allows me to map it with something called MHD, so I can literally map this with my phone in the matter of minutes, whereas the Polo doesn't really have that. Now the Polo is custom mapped, so arguably it does have a better map on it, power-wise, than the M240i does, but I love the flexibility. I love the fact that I could flash this back to stock in a minute. So in reality, the 240 is great, but I just don't feel like you can fully open it up perfectly on UK roads, whereas the Polo, you can. So without any further ado, let's get in the Polo and let's talk about it and let's drive it. And this is what I mean when I'm talking about mapping. The one thing that annoys me about the Polo is it has a cold start, and I cannot map it out unless I go back to a tuner. And it's not as simple as me just turning off cold start on my phone like I can do with the BMW. So that's one thing I'm not the biggest fan of when it comes to this car. Of course, the sun is still blinding me, but I do like the sound of a 4-pot. Now, coming from an N55, which I had before the 240, the N55, which is the inline 6 from BMW, is quite possibly the best sounding engine that I feel like I could own in regard to like a SVJ or a V12, for example. But the Polo, for a 4-pot, which 4 cylinders don't always sound the best, it does sound pretty good. But I have got to say, I feel like this is the best kind of POV when it comes to these type of cars. The same with the BMW. Like, don't get me wrong, I love all the new tech stuff that you get when you get a new car. Like, if this was a 25 plate Polo GTI, it would have a big screen and everything like that. But this is still touchscreen, same touchscreen like the BMW, and it's just kind of the perfect era. I feel like these cars, everything just kind of worked. You have a button for your AC, it's not on like a electronic display, it just works. Overall, I really like this car, and there is a reason I've been driving it so more. And I think my wife would prefer it if I drove my own car a little bit more instead of hers. And the reason for this is simple. If you guys haven't watched my previous videos on the channel, we actually fitted a modification to this while my wife was at work. And since I fitted this modification, I just love the car even more. Now the modification, in case you haven't seen the video, was this Batman style spoiler. And I think this makes the rear of the car look amazing. Like, look how aggressive that looks now. It looks like a proper hatchback, whereas before it was a little bit just standard, and the rest of the car looks really good, but that just didn't really look the best. Now it looks like a really cool hatchback. Sneak peek of the little Bilsteins in there with the Nürburgring sticker on them, which is really cool because we have Bilsteins on this and also the M240i. So I'm a big Bilstein fan. If Bilstein see this, maybe you could sponsor me. Apart from that, the reason I like driving it is because it's just light and it's fast and it's nimble and it's fun. And I think when you add all of those things together, yes, the M240i has a lot of power, and arguably it would be faster than this car. However, this is just fun. And to me, a fun car is just more enjoyable. Now, I've made this video today because a lot of you guys have asked me why I've decided to buy this car and I didn't just buy another BMW. Well, the number one reason, like I mentioned in the beginning, is because my wife has always wanted a Polo GTI, and this is kind of one of her favourite cars. So it makes sense for me to have the BMW, which I love, and for her to have the Polo. Which one is better? Well, like we talked about, they're literally best in their own ways. This car is fun if you want to go ridiculously fast and you want to feel the car put you back in your seat. Whereas the Polo, it does the same thing, but it does it in a completely different way. It keeps pulling, and because it's got a bigger turbo on than what it came from with the factory, you feel a little bit of turbo lag. It kind of puts you back in your seat after you reach a certain rev range, whereas this is a lot more torquey, so it puts you in your seat a lot quicker. Now let's just pretend I had to get rid of one car and keep one. That is a tough choice, and I'm not going to be able to answer it because truthfully, I haven't crossed that bridge yet, so I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section down below which car are you picking. Are you picking the M240i or are you taking the Polo GTI? Now I know what everybody's going to say, the Polo GTI isn't a performance car. In my mind, if you drove this thing in real life, it is. If you guys enjoyed this video though, you can give it a like down below. More people can see it that way. Apart from that, I'll catch you guys in the next video, probably with the M240i, as my wife has the day off today, so I've actually managed to get some filming done with the Polo. I'll catch you guys in the next video though. Thank you very much for watching today. Bye for now.